Okay, for our next panelist, Rob Jones is with Green Cat, a company that does energy retrofits and energy audits, and also he runs the Energy Efficiency Training Center. So Rob, carry on.
Thanks, Craig. I'm really glad that Craig invited me today, because a lot of times when we talk about renewable energy, where everybody's thinking about solar and wind and a lot of things that sometimes are out of reach of a lot of the people in today's society. So I think it's really important that we look at energy efficiency as a natural resource too. And to start, we kind of like to look at it that we'd like to go to energy efficiency in baby steps. It's the little simple things that we can do in our lives and in our homes. Secretary Chu, one of my favorite, I think everybody's kind of gaining a lot of respect for him because he has a lot of good quotes and he's doing a lot of good things, but one of my favorite quotes that he does is that energy efficiency is one of our greatest natural resources. A lot of times we don't think about that. If we just do the simple things in our lives and our homes to get that energy efficiency, that can take away the need for so much natural resources that we would use to create that electricity or that power. And it's something that's easy to do and it's relatively inexpensive to do. The other quote is from a congressman in California. Basically, the old American way is one thing that we do have in abundance in this country is our creativity and our drive to do things right and to do things good. So if we can remember that, along with the renewable energy sources, that it can take us a long way. So. Again, all it takes is baby steps. If every house in Kansas City installed 10 CFL light bulbs, we would save over $8 million per year. If we would air seal and insulate every ceiling in Kansas City to the Energy Star requirements, we could save over $26 million a year. And that's just here in Kansas City. So if you equate that to the energy use and the coal that it takes to burn to create that energy, that's a big thing. Looking at it, we like to look at energy efficiency as an investment. I mean, it's something that some people can do in their homes, and they can make money back from this. It's, you can invest in your home, you can do a kitchen. You're not going to get an invested money. You're not getting money back every year from that. Energy efficiency work in a home, you actually get that back. If you look at some of the numbers, the percentages, the return of profit on the initial investment, the percentages is just, it's an outstanding investment. You can't do that in Wall Street or anything else that you're doing. So, again, if the average household in Kansas City could save 10% through energy efficiency, they'd save about $180 a year average. Again, $36 million in Kansas City we could save just by simple baby steps. Some of the easy things we can do in the community, retrofitting of the public buildings, which is going on. Efficient public lighting, we heard about already today, alternate transportation, and just general public awareness. Let everybody know what they can do in their homes for that energy efficiency. At the workplace, easy as shutting down computers when they're not in use, turning off lights, requesting energy audits in the workplace. Everybody thinks about it in the home. It's a good thing for small commercial and even with CEUs with large commercials. And create a green team at your work. How can we do this at our work? How can we bring everybody together and save on this energy, create this energy efficiency, and use our natural resources? And then around the house, which is the easiest thing. We can all go home tonight and do something that's going to help and become a renewable energy resource for us. Simple changes: recycling, home energy audits, energy efficiency improvements. Home energy audit, he asked about solar panels. How many have solar panels? How many people in here have had a home energy audit done on their house? Okay, pretty good number. It's a real important thing to do to create that plan. The parts of the home energy audit: comprehensive inspection and safety testing, computer energy modeling, and from that we get an energy efficiency investment plan that we can use in our homes. Item by item, what can we do in our homes? How much is it going to cost? What's the payback on it? What's this investment? How good of an investment is this? Again, we talked home energy audit is safety and durability first. That's our biggest thing, is we want to keep your house safe. We do no harm to your house. The other biggest thing is to take a whole house approach to reducing those loads. We don't want to just replace the windows. We don't want to just do one thing. We want a whole plan, because the house is working together with itself. It's a whole system, and we want to use that system to increase that energy efficiency as much as we can. When we do that and reduce the loads of the house, then we look at increasing the efficiency of the furnace and the air conditioner unit, make those more efficient as the largest utility users in your house. And then after that, we can introduce the renewable energy sources like the solar power, the wind power, hopefully bringing those down in price because you don't have as large of a load and making it more economical to install them at that point. Again, the safety and durability, we want to maintain healthy air quality, testing in, testing out for combustion appliance safety, address any moisture issues and maintain structural integrity. Reducing the load, we're going to reduce air leakage, insulate attics, walls, crawl spaces, and basements, seal and insulate the ducts, Energy Star appliances, CFL and LED lighting, replacing doors and windows. Again, a whole house approach to the things that make the most sense to work with the other components of your house. And then we can go ahead and install a high efficiency furnace and air conditioning units, either just system upgrades to your existing, go to a high efficient furnace, or condensing unit, possibly change out to air source heat pumps, add high efficiency water heaters, and ultimate is to do a geothermal heating and cooling system where we really use the heat, the power of the earth, where we're not having to generate power to heat and cool our homes. Then after we reduce those loads, then we can look at these alternative renewable energy sources, install some passive solar, some solar water heating, photovoltaics, use some wind power, and again, using the geothermal as a renewable energy source. So how do we do that? Right now, there's some great incentive programs. We've got one of the best regions in the country, Kansas City does, for those energy incentives to help us do these improvements on our home, get the energy audits. The problem with this is that energy efficiency is a lot to do with convenience for people. If it's convenient and if it's inexpensive, then we're going to go for that energy efficiency. Once these incentive programs go away, which they're going to do, it's going to be harder to get people to think about that energy efficiency again and think about doing energy audits. So what we want to try and do in the future is make this a sustainable industry to where people, even after the incentives go away and they have to pay full prices for things, we can still convince them it's the best investment because it is going to pay them back, it is going to pay for themselves, even without those incentive programs. So some of the incentive programs right now in the area, on the Kansas side, Efficiency Kansas is a program that was started with the ARA funds, with the stimulus funds. They've got a couple different tracks of it. The first is a $100 home and small business energy audit. Any home in the state of Kansas or any small business that is using a residential type heating and cooling system is eligible for this $100 audit. And that is, they just announced the extension of the program. It's going to last through the end of October, I believe, is October 31st is when that is over. And then the second part of the Efficiency Kansas program is that they've got a low interest loan program. It's a revolving loan program, so as people take the money out, do the energy efficiency improvements on their home, once they start making the payments on those loans, it goes right back into the program. So that's the good thing about it, is it's a sustainable program where as long as the federal government doesn't come and try to take that money back at some point, that money's going to be in that program forever, and that low interest loan program money will be available. So right now in a lot of areas it's a 4% interest bank loan program. Capital Federal and Sunflower Bank are the two banks in this area that are handling that. It's a no origination fee on it, so it's very inexpensive to get the loan. 4% interest is pretty favorable at this time. So the other part of it is a lot of the utilities are coming on board, where it's a no interest loan, where you take out the loan from your utility company, they pay for the improvements, and the payments are tacked onto your utility bill each month rather than having to pay the separate payment. And the way that the program is set up is that the payments for the loan have to be less than what your projected energy savings are going to be from the improvements that you make. So you're no money out of pocket. In fact, you're actually saving a little bit every month, and then once it's paid for, you realize your big savings at that point. So another part of the program that's lasting through the end of the year is the $500 rebate on the thermal envelope improvements. If the people participate through the loan program, they get a $500 check from the state of Kansas after the work is completed. So it kind of helps to go pay for those improvements. So some of the utilities that are on board in this area are BPU with their Energy Smart program in Wyandotte County, and Bill 6 is a big part of that. It's a great program allowing people that are on the BPU utility to get a home energy audit and get a lot of work done on their homes where it's really needed for no cost up front, or virtually little cost up front, and the utility is paying for it. The other one is Westar, just came on board. Western Johnson County and up north, and the western part of Kansas, the same thing. It's a no-interest loan. You pay a $250 fee up front, and that's built right into the loan. And they pay for all the improvements on your home as long as they can pay back within that 15 years on it. So really good programs on the Kansas side. Took them a while to get them going, but with their $100 audit and the utilities coming on board, they're really going strong right now. So. On the Missouri side, we have the KCP&L MGE. Home performance with Energy Star, $1,200 rebate here in the Kansas City area. $400 goes towards the energy audit, and then up to $800 for qualifying energy efficiency improvements based on R values, air sealing, things like that. It's a performance-based where you have to achieve a certain performance to get a certain amount of money. They've got prescriptive money to the different performances. But again, it's a good jump start for everybody in the Kansas City area to be able to do these efficiency improvements on their home. Independence Power and Light just introduced a low interest loan program based similarly on the Efficiency Kansas program, where the utility will pay for your improvements and the payments go right back to the utility based on your savings, has to pay for those improvements. And then Missouri does have a state income tax deduction of $1,000 per year, $2,000 total till the year of 2013. So that's in there. So on any of the improvements that you make, any energy efficiency improvements that you make. And then nationally, the incentives to energy efficiency. Right now, there's a federal tax rebate. It's 10% of the cost of the improvements, up to $500. That went down from last year. The one that we had last year expired. That was a little bit better. There is talk of, by the end of the year, hopefully there will be a new program or a new tax credit that'll be a little bit more substantial than this as part of an overall performance-based program. So we have the Energy Star program for new homes that has a builder rebate that they get if they can build a home to Energy Star standards. And existing homes, the Department of Energy is working with the EPA and the Energy Star people to develop a program where they will now have a rating system on existing homes where we can get Energy Star rating for existing homes, which has been pretty hard to get because the standards for a new home, you pretty much have to tear the house apart to get everything where you need to be for an Energy Star. They're revising those for existing homes, and they're going to have some credits based on Energy Star ratings for existing homes. A couple of the national organizations out there, Building Performance Institute, BPI, setting the standards for the existing homes, for the quality of the work that's done, the energy efficiency work. They want to make sure everything's done to keep people safe and keep the homes durable. And on the new construction side, ResNet is the one that are overseeing the rating systems for the Energy Star programs on there. So. Some green collar job opportunities that this has created. Obviously, home energy auditors is a big field right now. It's amazing over the last 2 years the amount of people that have taken on this new career as energy auditors. The good thing about it is that most of them are out there forming their own business, so the entrepreneurship is there for it. New homes, HRES raters, there's always a demand for that, although we know home building has kind of stalled a little bit, but I've talked to a few of the raters now, and home building is picking up again, so they're starting to get busy on the rating systems, or on the HRES ratings, and supplementing their crews with energy auditors to handle the existing homes. Energy efficiency contractors and workers, there's a lot more companies that are forming out there to handle the workload that the auditors are creating by making the recommendations. And then as we heard from everybody here, the renewable energy contractors and workers, as the prices of the renewable energy goes down, obviously the employment goes up out there. So there's some, we already had the talk on the training here. There's some great education opportunities available out there through the junior colleges here. We also have a couple of just local training facilities with Halfmore and the EETC that Mark Ricks and myself run to offer short-term training for people that can't take the whole semester and everything. So we got a great area here. I think things are looking really good as far as energy efficiency and the opportunities out there available. The biggest I've lost the word, but the biggest challenge that we have out there again is to make this a sustainable type energy efficient, where people are still going to want to go after that energy efficiency even when the incentives are gone and they have to come up with money up front. So just like to thank a little bit to Green Cat, because my daughter is the one that's doing this, and she put together this slide presentation that we did, so I wanted to give that little pitch for her. So, that's it. Thank you.